This NFL mailbag, heavy draft focused of course, is presented by Manscaped. When you head over to manscaped.com/chat, you'll get 20% off and free shipping on all their fantastic men's grooming products. I appreciate Manscaped for sponsoring this mailbag today, so go check them out. We'll put that link for you guys in the comment section and in the description. It's manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping. First up from Seahawks analysis and more. Who will win the NFC West? Rams are the betting favorite. I'm going to go not Cardinals. And then I want to see who the Niners take at quarterback. Seahawks, though, for your Seahawks fan out there, very much in the mix as well. From Tristan Brown, a super chat reaction if Dallas takes Micah Parsons at number 10. Does depend on who else is on the board. Disappointed would be one of them. I don't want another off-ball linebacker drafted that early. I don't think that's a good decision by the Cowboys. You can find somebody on day 2. Take one there, not at number 10, given their litany of other needs on defense. From my burner account, what are some of your favorite cliche phrases on draft day used by draft analysts, of which I am one of them? So what's your personal favorite? His is, this guy's a football player. Producer Jeremy says sneaky good athlete, which is always used for a white guy, for being honest there. Look, I think that there's a lot of ones that we all kind of fall into there. I'll tell you one that you're all going to get annoyed by during the draft is when I say ball skills, because I covet that in my secondary players. I want guys that make plays on the football, so that I think is one of them. At least for me. You guys can let me know what you hate, though, in the comments section. Emil Pedersen, Aldon Smith comp pick, and I'm good at Twitter. Thank you for that, Emil. I'm on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, for those of you who do not already follow me. There's not going to be an Aldon Smith comp pick. I've seen the contract details. It did not reach the qualifying number to free up a comp pick for Chidobe Awuzie, so there will not be a comp pick coming to Dallas as part of losing Aldon Smith to Seattle. From Hudson is cool. Who will the Giants pick? Great question. I think receivers still in play, be it Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle. I think Micah Parsons is very much in play at number 11. And I throw in Rashawn Slater there as well, which is also Hudson said, by the way. He says, I would go offensive line. If you want to go O-line there, I think that makes sense. We'll go ahead and push that one on there. I think that makes a lot of sense there for the Giants. I think O-line would be a good pick. From KC the Sledge Storyteller, which quarterbacks expected to go in the first 2 rounds need to have a vet quarterback helping them develop themselves for franchise status? If either Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond go in the first 2 rounds, those guys, because they're not that good. The guy that I would like to give more time to develop is probably Trey Lance, coming from the FCS, hasn't actually played many FBS football players. Best ones are on his own team. So from that perspective, I think Trey Lance would be one I'd want to kind of slow the roll on in terms of throwing into the fire immediately. Good question, though. From Latoya 67, if the Raiders trade down, what team trades up to number 17? Also been there for a while. Thank you, Latoya. I appreciate it. They're at 17. Maybe a team like the Browns see a cornerback that they desperately want. Maybe they go up and get aggressive at that point. That would make some sense. They jump teams like the Titans and Colts and maybe even the Bears who could take a cornerback there. Maybe a team like the Jets comes up for an Elijah Vera Tucker. Those are 2 teams I'd watch out for. Or the Ravens, who have 2 first-round picks. From Robert Bruce, hello Tom, hello Sam. Wondering if you think the Patriots, by the way, it's producer Jeremy today, fun fact. Wondering if you think the Patriots will go defense if they do not take a quarterback at number 15 like a Parsons, please. Yeah, I would not be surprised. I hate mock drafting for the New England Patriots. It is very difficult for me because they do weird stuff. So they could take a tackle, and I wouldn't even be that surprised. But I do think defense, if they don't get a quarterback, makes the most sense. Now, who is the most overrated NFL draft prospect in this year's class? Once again, you guys get to be the hater in the comment section. This question will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and get your votes in. From Mark, happy Monday, Tom. How are you? I am great. Thank you for always asking, Mark. Looking towards the new regular season, if the Packers repeat as NFC North champs, does Rodgers win another ring? I need to see what they do in the draft. If they can add actual impact players for this year, I will feel much better about their possibility. From Burnin' Spades, thoughts. Denver goes from 9 with Miami to 6, and then again with Atlanta to number 4. So we'll say it is a 3-team trade. Denver gets Justin Fields, Atlanta gets Kyle Pitts, and Miami gets Jalen Waddle. I think it's actually pretty doable. I don't know if those teams would all do it, but I think that the prospect team matches you have there make a whole lot of sense. So good super chat there, my friend. From JP the God, who do you like better, Jevon Holland or Andre Cisco? So I am holding off as long as possible on most of the safeties. I'm tired of getting my heart broken each year by the Dallas Cowboys. I got Jevon Holland, though, over Andre Cisco. Cisco's coming off the injury. He's been inconsistent. A lot of great plays, but a lot of big plays allowed as well. From Evan, Julio Jones to New England for the 15th overall pick this year. I think your value is about right of Julio Jones. The problem here is that trading Julio right now screws the Falcons' salary cap up, and they cannot avoid it at all. So it's not going to be for a pick this year. It will be for future picks if they were to trade away Julio. From Nathaniel, what prospects were you high on that became busts, and what prospects were you low on who became good players? The biggest, I was too low and they became good was Josh Allen. I did say he was very much boom or bust, but I thought he was going to end up busting in the end. Guys that I liked who became bust, I loved Tease Tabor coming out of Florida, and he was bad football player. All right, from Rashard Lee, any linebackers in the second round for the Cowboys? I think guys like Nick Bolton, Jabril Cox, both Ohio State players, Pete Werner and Baron Browning could make some sense there. I doubt Zaven Collins or Jamin Davis slide, but if so, they could be in play, and they would be in play in round 2 for Dallas. Today's show made possible by Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com/chat, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping on all their fantastic men's grooming products, including the Lawnmower 3.0. You can also get the perfect package, which comes with the Lawnmower 3.0, and those boxers, the most comfortable ones known to man, a handy traveling kit, and plenty of other goodies as well. So head over to manscaped.com/chat, 20% off and free shipping on all their fantastic men's grooming products. Go check them out today. For my burner account, current players comparable to Surtain or Jaycee Horn. Let me double check my notes. I mean, for starters, Surtain does kind of play like his dad does a little bit. Jaylen Horn is not as talented or athletically gifted, but from an attitude, trash-talking perspective, he very much reminds me of Jalen Ramsey. He's got that attitude, which I absolutely love. Surtain is super steady, super consistent. He's not the freaky athlete that a Byron Jones was, but in terms of being a potential lockdown guy, I think he fits that mold pretty well. From Tristan Brown, best overall defensive player in this year's draft. It was going to be Caleb Farley until he had his second back surgery, so I'm crossing him off that list pretty easily. I'm going to go with Patrick Surtain, but I think you can make an argument for Jaycee Horn, for Micah Parsons, and I would even throw in Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah as well. And if you're not concerned about the medical stuff, edge rusher Jalen Phillips could also be in that conversation. From Peter, Packers trade first and second round for Julio. Also, is Jordan Love to the Patriots BS? I mean, I would be very surprised if the Packers bailed on Jordan Love already. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I'm going to cross one off as no. If it's a future first and a future second, at that point, I do think it makes some sense for the Packers or Packers and Julio. I don't know if it's going to end up happening, though, in the end. Nicholas Pinnell, mock draft, Chaz Surratt, Daz Newsome, and Leatherwood at 250. First off, Alex Leatherwood is going to go way closer to 25 and is going to go to 250. He'll probably be gone by pick 56. So, only way he's there is if we have a Lael Collins situation. So, actual draft, A+++. Realism of the draft, like an F. I'm sorry. From Joey, who wins the NFC East? I want to say Cowboys, then I'll put Washington, then New York, and I simply don't believe in Philadelphia. I think this might be a bit of a, not a full-fledged rebuild year, but kind of a reset year from that perspective. Folks, all 7 rounds of this year's NFL Draft will be live on Chat Sports. And as we've done for years, we want to be the #1 most watched YouTube channel, and we're going to do that by having fun, doing some games, some giveaways, and getting you the picks before the major networks have them. Go subscribe right now, youtube.com/chatsportstv. From Tyler, how are you? I am good. You guys are being super nice today. I appreciate that. Do you think Miami can be way flexible in this draft? I think they can. With 4 top 50 picks, they can move up, they can move down, they can trade down, they can package, they can take different players. Miami has a lot of power and flexibility in this draft. I completely agree. From Third Boy, if Shaun Wade is there in the 6th, should Dallas draft and play nickel corner as a free safety? I don't know where Shaun Wade plays. He was an All-American last year, which proves to me once and forever that the All-American voters literally do not watch college football. He was awful this year. He was an undraftable player this year. Previously, I thought he was better than Damon Arnett, who went number 19 overall. So I have a 5th-round grade on him because he's a massive, massive wild card. He's either a nickel or free safety. At that point, yeah, I'd gamble on maybe him refining his previous form. From Cheater Jultex, if Fangio does not work out in Denver, do the Broncos go get Eric Bieniemy and have Fangio at DC? Bieniemy maybe. A head coach being the DC for the same team, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. From Brian, where do you see Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah getting drafted? He's hoping for the Raiders. I would love that. I love Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think somewhere in the Patriots at 15 down to maybe worst case like the Jags or maybe the Ravens at 27. Somewhere in that mid-ish late part of round 1, someone should take him. He is a fantastic player. I love him. He's actually my #1 linebacker this year. From Matthew, do the Cowboys move up in the 1st round for Trevon Merrick or someone like Barmore? It's possible. On our Cowboys channel, I did look at some potential trade-up targets. I got Merrick in there, Christian Barmore in there, and I've also got, who am I forgetting of? Jevon Holland out of Tulsa could be a name they go after in this year's draft. From Rich Fingerland, who should the Chiefs draft with their 2nd-round picks? Great question. Tough to know who's actually going to be there. Edge rusher makes some sense if you want to get somebody there. Cornerback, look, I'll throw this out there. I don't think he's going to slide. If he does, just take Rondell Moore and have fun with it. That would be awesome if you're KC. Maybe a linebacker, but they did take Willie Gay last year. I'd also look at center to groom for a year behind Austin Ryder, their recent pickup in free agency. So who is your favorite day 2 NFL draft prospect? And I'm talking guys who will actually go on day 2. I'll give my guy here real quick. Of the guys who I think slide to the 2nd round, Rondell Moore's in there. I don't think he goes in the 1st round. And I don't think Asante Samuel sneaks in, but he should. He's an awesome football player. From William Tabb, who will the Cardinals draft at 16? They're in a weird spot where if the cornerbacks are picked over, if Horn is gone and Surtain is gone, which I think is likely, that worries me. So maybe Greg Newsome. I think they'd love Jaycee Horn. Maybe a receiver falls, and Arizona goes that route instead. All right, from Gary Sanderson, Cowboys trade down with the Bears, get a 2022 first and draft. I'm pretty sure you mean Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame. I'm not really far in at all on my 2022 study, but from watching live, I like Kyle Hamilton quite a bit. From Saeed Stafford, Giants prediction at 11. Either Rashawn Slater, one of the Bama receivers, or Micah Parsons would be my guess. From Bruno, the Steelers thinking about trading for Jimmy G. I'm going to go with no because the money. He's getting paid a good amount of money. He's not going to sit for a year behind Big Ben. So maybe next year that could make some sense, but this year, no, not going to happen. All right, from We Talk Football. Do you think the Titans will draft Farley, Newsome, or even Elijah Moore with their 22nd pick? I like Newsome's fit. You have to consider right tackle as well. I'd throw in maybe Rashad Bateman as a possibility for that team as well. I think Elijah Moore could be a surprise-ish round 1 pick. If Farley's medical checks out, that'd be a route I would pursue as well. From Christopher C., I think the Steelers draft offensive line or running back in round 1 and round 2, cornerback in round 3. I think it makes some sense. They've been heavily linked to Najee Harris, but if you want to go O-line first, I'd be on board there. You need more cornerback depth. So in terms of if there are the right players there position-wise, that makes a lot of sense for Pittsburgh.